A particularly enduring version of this tale involves a ghostly hitchhiker from North Carolina known as Lydia the Vanishing Lady. The story goes that on a rainy night in 1923, a young woman named Lydia traveled to Raleigh to attend a dance with her boyfriend. The couple was driving home to High Point on Highway 70 when they collided with another car at a narrow underpass. Lydia was killed instantly and happened to be wearing a white evening gown that night. Ever since then, there have been numerous sightings of a female hitchhiker at that location, wearing that exact same outfit. One
is the lonely.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, nice, classic. One notable sighting involved a motorist. The reason I said one, as like you said, you heard it trail off, was because I ran out of breath. I was like, one. It's like the absolute end of my lungs, which is weird. Usually I have capacity, and that's
You should at least have podcasts.
You would think, but unfortunately, no. One notable sighting involved a motorist named Burke Hardison. He was driving near the underpass one night when he saw a woman in a white evening gown signaling for help. Hardison picked her up, and the frantic woman said she needed to get home to High Point since her mother would be worried. She provided her home address, but when Hardison arrived at the house, the girl completely vanished. Nonetheless, Hardison decided to go knock on the door. A woman answered. After hearing Hardison's story, she told him that her daughter Lydia had been killed in an accident at the underpass. Apparently, Hardison was not the first person who had shown up at Lydia's house to describe this experience. While the story sounds like a folktale, researchers have uncovered a death certificate of a 19-year-old High Point girl named Lydia who died in a car accident on December 31st, 1923. The legend of Lydia the Vanishing Lady continues to live on.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That is pretty crazy.
That's that reminds me of like those old, like you'll hear them in pretty much every town, right? There's like the town's like weird urban legend,
right?
And I don't know if like Palmdale and Lancaster had them, but for sure Cal City had like the weirdest ones.
We had a Dead Man's Hill in Palmdale.
Dead Man's Hill?
Yeah, where somebody had supposedly rode his bike over the edge of the hill and crashed and killed himself.
Really? By riding his bike?
Yeah. Over by Tumbleweed Elementary School and the railroad tracks. It's a small hill because later on as an adult, I took my kids up to that hill just because I used to hang out there when I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's Dead Man's Trail right over the edge of that little hill where that kid supposedly crashed and died.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
like death worthy.
Yeah. He crashed and skinned his knees or something.
Yeah, it should have been like Skinned Knees Hill.
Of course, it was before helmets because,
Skinned Knees Man's Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not probably didn't roll off the tongue as well.
Wailing Child's Hill.
There you go.
Because he was probably wailing for his mama.
Yeah. I think Cal City had, there was a baseball field called Balsitis. Sound weird and definitely not worthy of a name. Yeah. Yeah, it was balsitis. And people used to say that it sounded like some kind of like testicle cancer of some sort. Like, oh, he's got balsitis. But that was the name of this baseball field, right? And so the urban legend there was that there was just a random like axe-wielding ghost that would show up to the field.
Those are the worst.
Yeah. And just like middle of the baseball field, like an axe-wielding ghost would come out at night. And I remember just sitting there like, well, how did that happen? Like, what was the origin of this story? But you're so young when you hear it, you're like, oh shit, I don't want to go to Balsitis at night.
I know that story. And in 1918 in Cal City, there was this baseball player.
Mm. Ricky the Axe. Yeah.
No. That's a different one.
Yeah.
But this one he was the saw.
Yeah.
Because he threw so hard, he just sawed right through those bats.
Sure, why not?
And then later on, the urban legend
was
developed. And it was an axe-wielding ghost because
the story changed over time.
Well, because this guy got balsitis.
As you do, yeah.
And nobody knew it, and he died on the field with one large testicle that you could see through those tight pants.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, how did that examination go? Or is he dead? Oh, God, yeah. And there's more.
Well, but they were wondering when he was like, because he fell face down, but he was like, leaned sideways, and then they rolled him over. Balsitis. Classic case.
Yeah, but like, well, at least we know what to name the field now, guys.